Hello, welcome to another video. It's Polarthon time. Who remembers Polarthon from like February last year and August last year? Polarthon is coming back again for its annual February appearance. Every year, Polarthon takes place in the first full week of February, so you can expect to see it again this February, the first full week being from the 6th, Monday the 6th, to Sunday the 12th of February. First full week of February is when Polarthon will be happening. This year's Polarthon, I think, is pretty fun, but also very simple. The aim for this year's Polarthon is... Hold on, let me just scooch it so I can pop it here. The aim for this year's Polarthon is spin the wheel! Spin the wheel, read a book, save the polar bears, and then there are 7 slots because there are 7 days. You do not have to read 7 books. It's just the way that I do it is I try and read a book a day. You do not have to read 7 books. You can read 1, you can read 7, you can read 17 if you want to, if you can. There is no limit on how many books you can do. You can read 1 book and still count. But the aim is to spin the wheel and then collect your 7 snowballs. That's as simple as that. So, also you'll see on the bottom there, we are still doing donating to Polar Bears International, but I'll talk more about that in a second. But let's swap over to actually look at the wheel. Ta-da! This is what the wheel looks like. It spins, you tap it, it spins. The link to this wheel is in the description. So, you spin the wheel to get your prompt to read your book, to get your snowball. It would be incorrect of me and wrong of me to use a wheel and not give a massive shout out, thank you and credit to Cody from Cody's Book Corner. If you like spinny wheels, you'll know of Cody's Wheel of TBR. So big props to Cody for that. And that is what we have this year for Polarthon. So there are prompts on this wheel. Let's go through what they are. Polar Fantasy is on there twice because it is a Polar Fantasy themed readathon, so they are like opposite each other on the wheel. If you are unfamiliar with what a Polar Fantasy is, it is a fantasy book, so, you know, magic, wizards, magical systems, fantasy. You know what fantasy is, right? With some sort of polar element, be that set in a snowy setting, set in the Arctic or the Antarctic. A lot of Slavic fairy tales and stuff I would count as polar fantasies, something with icy magic in it. Just a fantasy with some sort of wintry element to it counts as a polar fantasy, okay? Let's go through some of the others. We have got cold word in the title, that means, so ice, snow, cold, shiver. I would count north as a cold word because the north is pretty cold. Anything that you could interpret as being a word associated to the cold. Then we have ice and snow. You can interpret this as ice and snow on the cover, or ice and snow as the setting, or you could just pick ice or just pick snow, but ice and snow either on the cover or in the book. We then have cold cover, so this can just be cold colours on the cover. Again, you could probably do cold, like a cold related word for this. You could have ice or snow or cold water or something on the cover. You could have someone in a hat and scarf. It's just somehow the cover has to be related to the cold. We then have adventure. Very simple. An adventure doesn't have to be cold at all. You could have a desert adventure, but some sort of adventure for that one. We then have animal friend, so an animal companion, a pet, or a familiar, or anything with an animal companion. Could be a book about cats, there's plenty of those, but some sort of animal friend in the book. Next up, we have foiled cover, a shiny cover. A cover that has foil on it. I will say, if your edition doesn't have foil on it, but there is an edition with foil on it, you can count that. I'm not going to make it difficult for you. If there is a foiled shiny edition that exists, but you have a normal non-shiny edition, you can count that. We then have watery. Again, this could be water on the cover, watery setting, like set at sea, some sort of watery magic, set in the sea, could be about mermaids, anything somehow watery related for that one. And then the last one is magical. Any sort of magic will do. Again, I wanted to keep this pretty vague, so it doesn't have to be polar magic, icy magic, it can be any sort of magic, but something magical. And they are all of the prompts. That is it. That is what the wheel consists of. So, the aim of the game is you spin your wheel to get your prompt, you read your book, you collect your snowball. Simple. Simple stuff. It's a really simple concept. As I say, there are 7 slots on there. You don't have to do all 7. You could do 1, you could do 7, you could do 17, whatever. And in terms of creating a TBR, you can either spin all at once at the beginning and get all of your prompts for the week, or you can spin as you go. That's what I will be doing. I will be trying to read a book a day. So I will start each of my days with a spin and see what I'm reading for that day. As always, for the week-long round of Polarthon in February, I will be daily vlogging it, so you can expect a vlog a day from me, with hopefully a read a day and a spin a day, so hopefully that goes well. I did mention that the donation page is still open. I am going to continue the donation drive from August's Polarthon, with the ambition of donating £1 for every 100 pages finished. That is what I am going to be doing, and again, I would love to encourage you to do the same thing. Polar Bears International is a charity that you know I care about. I care about the polar bears and the climate crisis and all of that terrible stuff, and I think with the Readathon's whole theme being the Arctic polar bears, it makes sense for me to continue supporting the cause that I'm passionate about. So, the donation drive is still open. The Just Giving link is down below. I will be donating £1 for every 100 pages finished, just as I did in the August round of Polarthon, and I would really like to ask you, if you can, only if you can, obviously, to do the same thing and join me in that and continue raising funds for Polar Bears International. That is linked down below. That is pretty much all there is to this one. There will be sprints, there will be vlogs. Everything I have mentioned is linked down below. You've got your graphic linked down below, the wheel, the Just Giving page. Oh, one more thing, there will be a form. Just for fun statistics, there will be a form where you can submit how many pages you've read. Like, you can say, I finished a book, it was this many pages, just so at the end of the week we can see how many books and how many pages were read. But to be honest with you, the number that I'm more interested in is going to be what we managed to raise on Just Giving again this time. But that will be linked down below as well. So you've got the wheel, the Just Giving page, the graphic, the form, all linked down below. Polarthon Twitter linked down below as well. It's probably also worth me mentioning that the Polarthon bookmarks are also still available on Daisy and Bee, so that will be linked down below, and the Polarthon merch on Redbubble is also still available. They are not new designs, they are the same as they were for August, but if you have lost them, or if you didn't get them in August, or if this is your first exposure to Polarthon and you wanted to grab some merch, bookmarks are on Daisy and Bee's Etsy, and other merch is on Redbubble, so I'll leave those linked down below as well if you are interested. And as before, we will be donating to Polar Bears International with the profits made from that as well. So, winner. I think that's everything. If this is your first exposure to Polarthon, then welcome. I do it every year. I've been doing it for 5 years now, I want to say. 5 years of Polarthon, and I'm excited to do it again. So I really hope that you join me. Hopefully it's not too much pressure, and I've tried to make it so that everyone can get involved somehow. But yeah, that is that. If you have any questions, if I've missed anything, drop them down below. I'll answer any questions that I have not answered in this video, or someone who knows the answer will. But yeah, thank you for watching. I hope you join us and participate in Polarthon and help save the polar bears. Have a great day. I will see you in whatever comes next. Bye.